turn up, 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 turn up. Coming from Atlanta, play this in your town. 860 your channel, don't turn it down. Coming from Atlanta, play this in your town. 860 your channel, don't turn it down. Elevate your mind, money on the rise. Let your soul shine, you know we coming live. Elevate your mind, money on the rise. Let your soul shine, you know we coming live.
You have just tuned in with the Welcome to Transitions Talk Radio Show with your host on the mic, Pastor D, Love Mama, G Money, and Diva's Boss Lady. It's time to elevate your mind and let your soul shine with your host of the T Squad.
All right, what's up out there? It's your girl, Diva's Boss Lady, coming to you live from LOVE860 here in Atlanta, Georgia. I got my girl right here to the left of me. Tell them what's up.
Hey, everybody, it's Love Mama.
Love Mama. And I got Pastor D right here.
Pastor D in the building. I'm trying to cheat and watch the Hawks, go Hawks, but I'm happy to be here. Transition Radio, Talk Radio.
This is what we do. Anyway, we're having a good time here. Definitely glad to have you a part of Transitions.
Yeah.
Talk Radio.
We sure are. We are
and
happy.
who are we?
We are the
T-Squad.
T-Squad.
We're not the Hawks, man.
T-Squad.
You have to think about this.
T-Squad.
We are the T-Squad.
We're the T-Squad, right? We're representing here. Definitely want to shine light on the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Yes.
They call us Black Hollywood.
Oh, of course.
What they call us?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
It's Hot Atlanta. It's Black
You've
Hollywood.
been here all your life. I've only been here for about a year
I was
and a
born
half.
at Grady Hospital. Yay.
You Grady
Grady
baby.
Hospital.
I'm proud of it. Grady Hospital has come up.
Come up from what?
Oh, they've been through some stuff.
Oh,
My wife, she was a former Grady employee.
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
Representing for Grady.
thanks to my baby Keziah, she's no longer at Grady. So
Okay.
she's a stay-at-home mom now. She's caught in the ice storm a couple years back from Grady. And so.
all right. So now, you all catch that new edition. Wait, before I do that, I got to give a shout out myself. You all were talking about Atlanta. You're from where?
I'm from Connecticut, from Norwalk, Connecticut.
Norwalk in the building.
Been down in Atlanta. Actually came down with Georgia Pacific years ago.
Okay.
And so I've been down here for 14 years.
All right.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
14 years.
14 years.
All right. So I got to give a shout out to a few places.
Yeah.
My hometown, Martinsville, Virginia. What's up out there, my people?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I got to keep it going. Charlotte, North Carolina. I lived there for a minute.
All right. Now, what's up?
All
You
right,
know about the Charlotte, right?
I do know
as
about
well
Charlotte.
as Greensboro, North Carolina, and we're here now. Now, we want to talk about New Edition.
Mr. Telephone Man. Oh, I always get off beat at that one note.
We're recording live. Wait,
Oh.
wait.
Mama
next
told me
time.
one day it was gonna
He's always
happen.
trying to upstage
but
somebody.
She done told me when.
He
She
said,
told me it would happen when I was much older. Wish it would have happened then.
Is this the end?
this is my team, y'all.
Hey, that had me hyped.
Oh my goodness, I
I
loved
saw
it.
you, right?
Oh, man.
I saw
I
you.
loved it.
He was on Facebook. Did you see
Yeah.
what he
I
was
saw
doing?
him every day.
He had
Every day.
the TV
Yeah.
was behind. He was doing his number.
I
Yeah.
know.
Just
Look,
singing
hey.
like, yo,
That
that's my job.
movie was just amazing.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember where you were when you heard Candy Girl for the first time?
I think I was at the hair salon getting my hair rolled.
What?
My mom took us to the hair salon when we was young a lot. Hey, y'all, gotta keep the hair glam.
That's all right.
Even as a youngster, I was
That's
glamming it
good.
up. But I remember those tube socks all the way up to their knees.
We called
I
it
remember-
Murphin. Your
Yes,
socks, yeah.
I remember Ralph's curly hair that was so neatly affixed to his nice little cute head. And all the boys were just so cute to me. I had a crush on all of them, I think.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you really? So what were you doing when
Man,
Candy Girl came out?
I was back in Norwalk. I was actually junior high school age, and I was really a hater because all the girls were losing their mind, and it took all the teenage girls' attention away from me. So I learned to love them eventually, but at the time I wasn't too happy because I was like, man, they trying to take all the girls.
I was always happy to be dark skinned, but watching that, I was like, look at all these dark skinned guys on here representing, for the chocolate.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I love you too, Ronnie. He's fair skinned.
Well, I remember I was actually at my babysitter's house playing with one of my friends up the way, and I remember hearing Candy Girl. That was just like...
You stopped everything, didn't you?
Yeah, because that song was so hot. Even as a little girl, I can't remember how old I was. Could have been, 10 maybe?
Yeah, I was young too. I was very young. I must have been like 12, 13.
12 or 13?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your favorite scene?
Oh my goodness.
There was so many.
When it first came on, let me tell y'all, I had just finished watching the video because I had a birthday party yesterday. Yeah, celebrated my 45th. It was a birthday bash. But anyway, I had just finished watching a YouTube video of the original New Edition when they were singing If It Isn't Love. And I looked at the whole thing because I was trying to learn the moves. Me and my girlfriend were going to try and do a performance at my party. It never happened. These knees weren't working. But anyway, I watched it. But when the movie came on, the New Edition story came on, and these actors reinvented the entire video down to when Ralph kind of was looking like sweating up against the camera. I was amazed. That was one of my favorite parts because I just watched the video and saw how they were able to portray that so perfectly. That's one of my favorite parts.
Right. Now, just to let people know, we've already kind of kicked into what's the word on the street because, I'm just so excited.
Yeah,
BET did a great job.
Yes.
Call-in number is 404-355-8699 if you have anything that you would like to say regarding New Edition miniseries. What was your favorite scene?
Yeah.
And did you get some insight from the show?
I think the biggest bomb that was dropped from the 3 days was the fact that everybody knew about Bobby and his nefarious ways, but nobody knew about Ricky. And so that was like this shocker.
Yeah.
And had everybody were like, what in the world? We didn't know that about Ricky Bell. And one of the things that I saw post the 3 days with Ricky giving a shout out to his wife for saving his life, because that was true in the story. And then the other part was, the fact that, here in Atlanta, Ronnie DeVoe's wedding was able to bring them all back and bring back them, connect them to each other as well as to his uncle. And it just showed you how the importance of family, how, no matter what goes on, brotherhood and family can bring you back together like nothing else can.
It did. The movie showed me how much they love each other, too. Because despite the obstacles, despite all the drama, Bobby Brown and everybody was doing, Bobby Brown, I don't need y'all, whatever he was saying, I'm going to be the baddest man and all this stuff,
Right.
They still somehow, there was some love there because they still were able to come together. Even though it was long periods of time, they still was able to come together, perform. They had some lows, but they had some great times. In the end, they still are in touch with each other. They may not be a group as a whole, but they still are very much in touch with each other. They perform together. It just showed me how much they love each other. They put all that mess behind, and they love each other for the sake of the group.
Right.
So, and the fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And for me, it was really being able to see what you did not know about New Edition. You did not know the back end of the story. We always see people and where they are in their current life, but we don't necessarily know what it took for them to get there. And I had no idea that Bobby Brown was the person who started the group.
I didn't
He
either.
went on stage. And he didn't sing the first time, but then he said, we're going to do this. We're coming back. And he brought the other people. So it was just amazing. And shout out to, I got to say this, Triad Old School out of Greensboro, North Carolina. I remember they brought in Ronnie to one of their day parties. And people were able to get around Ronnie, take pictures. And I was there doing a segment on my Divas Boss Lady Talk show. So definitely had a good time. He still looked the same.
Shout out. He sure does.
Still looked the same.
He's so handsome.
He is.
And I mean, that's another thing. I had no idea that he was a big part of them staying together. He was very soft-spoken. You didn't hear from him a lot back then, but he was a part of the glue.
Right.
That helped stick them together and keep them together.
Right. And you remember hearing that part where Bobby told him at the end, he's like, man, you were the glue. He said, but the time that you snapped, I knew that I had done too much. I had went too far.
Yes. That's amazing, y'all. Oh, I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
recorded it.
Yeah.
I want to buy it.
And the cool part is, bringing it back to here. I mean, many of them live here now. So, so they were able to, like me, come south from Boston and now reside in ATL. So many of them make their lives here now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, Ralph is here and Bobby's here and was it Riley that, he got married. His wedding was here. He lives here. So a lot of Atlanta connections to New Edition now in this stage of their lives. And so the best is yet to come for them too.
I agree. So. I see that BBD dropped
White Stripes.
Dropped
and
the
it sounds
live
good.
video
Stripes,
right after it.
yeah.
I was like, see, that's how you promote. That's how you do it. And then it also shows that just because you want to be an artist, just because you want to do something, doesn't mean that you're going to get that fat check. And you have to be careful who you start connecting with, because you never know who's going to give you that $1.87 check.
And you know what? Who you start connecting with in every aspect of your life. Who you connect with in everything you do. Not even just the music industry, any industry.
Exactly.
Whatever your niche is, whatever your passions are, whoever you connect with, make sure you are very cognizant of who it is.
Yeah, and the moms went off. You remember the moms went off in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they sure enough went off. Yeah. Like, I couldn't believe they were still stuck in the projects even after all that touring. And then you had the second guy to come and say, I'm going to be their manager. I'm going to give them money. I'm going to do this. And that's when they did get that $1.87.
They were playing. Somebody was playing them against each other.
They were.
Because you saw how they'll tell one person the same thing. I'm going to sign you to so-and-so, L.A. Reid or whoever, Babyface, whatever. And they tell everyone in the group who was trying to go solo the same thing. Yeah. And they did it. They came through with it, but they just kept, everyone was playing against each other. Yeah. It was like, wait a minute, he told me the same thing too.
Right.
So I didn't know that.
It always tells you what people say about the music business and how it, how much it can eat people alive, how much it can put people against each other and break you as well as make you. So.
Exactly. So if you enjoyed the New Edition miniseries, if you are in our era, I was born in the 70s. Some people were born in the late 60s, early 70s, and, even in the 70s, they were able to really go back to those days when they remember those songs. And BET, shout out to them because they did an awesome job in bringing the whole movie together, telling the story. And what I loved about it most, they allowed those key songs to play all the way through.
I love that.
I was like, yes.
I thought I was watching New Edition for real.
I know. Like you were in concert with them.
I did. I started having moments. I was like, wonder if things would have went differently when we were younger if he had saw me. Yeah. Oh.
I'm going to let that go.
Yeah.
All right, so we were just wanting to give our spiel. What's the word on the street? We're definitely talking about New Edition, and I think I also saw somebody post something on social media about they did a great job with BET as opposed to Lifetime. We have a caller on the line. What's up, caller? Thank you for calling in. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking to today?
This is actually Shell Newton, Derek Newton's wife.
Hey.
Pastor Deidre.
What's up?
Hey,
Derek's wife.
Hey, Lady Shell.
Ms. Newton.
How you doing?
How you doing?
You trying to get off?
I was listening to y'all about the New Edition biopic. It was wonderful. It was great.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I think probably my favorite part, though, because I know y'all were asking people what their favorite part was.
What's your favorite part?
When Michael Bivins had that realization when he looked at that album and he saw who was actually getting the money for everything. And he made it his business to go get a lawyer and to learn the business. And now, really looking at that made me actually look up his net worth.
It did.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Because when you're looking at their brother, or what was his name, the one, their first manager, I can't remember now.
Something about Star.
His uncle.
Oh, the manager.
Yeah, Ronnie DeVoe's uncle.
Yeah. Yes, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, he was like, when they all came, he said, look at them. They're broke, but they got all these people flying first class. And
that stood out. That stood out.
Yes, they're broke. And
well,
they
didn't get it. They still didn't get it.
And everything when they were starting out than when they made it big.
Exactly.
But,
and the only two.
I'm looking up his net worth, and right now they have his net worth at $40 million.
$40 million.
Wow.
Not mad at him.
Michael, I'm taking clients still. So I just want you to know that.
Michael, he said he's still taking clients. All right. So shout out. Thank you so much for calling in, telling us how you enjoyed your favorite part of the show. We're getting ready to go to break. So thank you again, Shell, Pastor D's lovely wife. He's
Thank you so much, hon.
hon.
He was just blushing over there.
All right.
That's
Peace.
smooth.
The only thing constant in the world is change. That's why today I take life as it comes.
Market declines, unemployment, oil prices. Today's headlines can be scary. Edward Jones financial advisor, Derek Newton, can help. He'll work with you to help you understand the impact of short-term events and how to be positioned for the long term. Edward Jones provides the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Don't let headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. Call the office at 770-832-9515 for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing. Member, SIPC.
Have you ever dreamed of becoming a multi-platinum recording artist? Have you ever wanted to work one-on-one with celebrity vocal coaches? Shine will give you the opportunity to find your true star power. The entirety of the show will be pre-recorded and shared on our online platforms. Following the episodes, we will host a live finale with celebrities, agents, and fans in attendance. Like the concept of a TV show, Shine will follow the journey of several singers making their climb to fame. The winning artist will then be given an opportunity to compete on our national platform, streaming on Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. Who will it be? Auditions begin in March. Please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Shine Sings to receive updates and information about the show. So the time to shine is now. But are you ready?
Are you tired of dead-end relationships? Is your self-worth low? Do you keep on settling for less? Let Tinsley Bradford, author of The Settle-Free Dating Method for Women, coach you and get your self-confidence back so you can get the love you deserve. Visit her at tinsleybradford.com or call 770-572-4239 for your free consultation. Use hashtag SettleFree for $15 off your first month of coaching.
You know I love your brown skin. I can't tell where yours begins. I can't tell where mine is.
What's up out there? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Transitions Talk Radio. That's the soothing sound of India Ari. Woo, she got some nice sounds, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, we just nice and mellow. We could just have that thing keep playing, right? What you know about that brown skin? That brown skin.
By the sun, you make me wanna Hershey's Kiss, your licorice.
We got another India Ivory in here trying to take over. We're having a good time, as you can see. We got our guest on the line waiting for us to bring her on. Don't forget, you can call in 404-355-8699. This is a very serious matter, and we wanted to showcase it to our audience so that we can shine a light on the mental health issues and the illnesses, disorders, things of that nature. If you ever had anyone in your home or anyone you know that suffers from mental conditions, that is nothing to play with. I've been there, done that, and I almost lost my mind trying to go through it with somebody. So shout out to those who are able to hang in there and who can talk about it.
And it's often something that people don't want to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Our guest is the lovely, wonderful LaShone Garth. She is also known as Miss Elegance International. She's the founder of Blanket of Freedom, which is it's set up for retired veterans to be able to have support through their mental illnesses. And we're so happy to have her on the show today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, LaShone. You're on.
Thank you for having me.
What's up, beautiful?
What's going on?
Thank you so much for being a part of our show today.
Hello, LaShone. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Great. How was your day so far?
It was excellent. Actually, I went to church today and got a message that was meant just for me.
Yay.
So I'm feeling really good today.
That's great. What a blessing. What a blessing. Well, we want to make sure we just start right on into it. You know, mental illness is something very serious. So I would like to know, based on your experience and observation, explain the post-traumatic stress and how common it is with people, the post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay, so
PTSD.
As you know, mental illness encompasses a lot of things. Post-traumatic stress disorder is just one of the segments, I guess, of the mental illness arena. And what generally happens is there's a traumatic event or experience that an individual goes through, and then this event has affected now the way that this individual sees reality or lives in their own reality. And what happens is a lot of times, depending on the trauma, you can be in fear the whole time, in fear of your life, in fear for others' lives. I mean, it really just depends on what the trauma is. And this trauma isn't rare. It really affects about 6 out of every 10 men and 5 out of every 10 women. So, that's 60% of men and 50% of women.
Wow.
Women are really more likely to experience sexual trauma and child sexual abuse. And men normally experience trauma through accidents, disasters, combat for veterans, physical assault, witnessing death or some type of serious injury. And let me tell you, it can happen to anyone. And it's not a sign of weakness. It's just something when, you have a break in your psyche because something traumatic has happened to you, then you can develop post-traumatic stress disorder.
Wow. And you gave us a lot to ponder. Especially with the numbers. I mean, this is Pastor D, by the way, 60% of men and 50% of women. So that's a lot of people dealing with it. So with that many people dealing with PTSD, what resources would you say there are available to people who are dealing with PTSD?
There are a lot of resources available. I mean, you have your mental health providers, you have hospitals, you have private independent practitioners, psychologists, psychiatrists. There are all kind of programs for the military. We have, a mental illness component for veterans to seek help. You have a lot of nonprofit organizations like mine who attempt to also provide services. The issue is people don't seek the services.
That's true.
So that is, the problem. And when you have a community of individuals, and I'm talking about the people who experience mental illness, who because of, their feelings about it, their perceived belief of other people's feelings about it, a lot of times they don't seek treatment and then they escape through other means such as suicide.
Yeah, that's always a sad place too.
And LaShone, I have a question. Now, you're talking about people not really seeking help and things of that nature. Why would you say that there is a stigma with mental illnesses or disorders?
Okay, so the first thing is I want to talk about culturally.
Okay.
So in the Black community, you know, we all got those people in our families that act a certain way, and we're like, oh, that's just the way, you know, Uncle Bobby is.
Right.
He always been that
That's
way.
Uncle. That's Uncle for
I
you.
did a post about that too.
Yeah. You know, so we don't take it seriously because it's looked at as, you know, just something that happens in your family. Everybody's got one. And so we really don't pay any attention culturally. And then in other ethnicities, such as I'll say the white community, you know, a lot of the people who experience mental illness, they're white males, and they're, you know, traditionally, that's what is their problem. So, you know, in the court system, anytime a white person goes before a judge and they've done something horrific, it's always they're suffering from a mental illness.
Yes.
So it's more accepted in that community. And when you're talking about the veteran community, you got to think of what our mission is. We go in, we're supposed to be these strong individuals. We're fighting for freedom. We're fighting for each other. We're fighting for lives. The last thing we want people to think is that something's wrong with us and that we can't move forward to accomplish our mission. And because of that, we hide it. And then there's also this issue with it affecting your career. So if you're this individual who you want to be successful and you want to go far and you want to gain rank, if you decide that, okay, I need to seek help, a lot of times you're thinking, what will this do to my career? If I'm a combat infantryman and I say I'm having this mental experience, are they going to remove me from the line? Are they going to remove me from my unit? You know, what exactly is going to happen to me? So you have that issue as well.
Wow. Yeah, I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want anyone to know that you are suffering with something. And just like she said, you're a veteran. You're at that point where you were just fighting for the country. You don't want people to see that you came home and things are not where you want it to be. Your life is not where you want it to be.
And it's unfortunate, too, that a lot of times, even though people say, oh, it's okay, people go through this, the moment you reveal it, they start to pass judgment against you. You start to feel like that.
And let me tell you, when you come back to, and I'll call it the real world, and you're trying to get a job, people look at you and say, okay, well, how is this person going to maintain in this environment? Are they going to go off and come back and, you know, try to kill everybody? It's all these, you know, feelings and belief systems and stereotypes. And because of that, you don't want to say anything. And then you got your family. Your family is looking at you as a hero. You come back and everybody's like, oh my God, great job. You know, we love you. You're so great. You're in the military. You're a veteran. You're this. And really, that's even more pressure for you to be, to not reveal your status. Because you want to look, you still want to be on that plateau in their eye. You don't want to look like you need help. You don't want to look like you're vulnerable. And that's really what a mental illness causes, vulnerability.
Wow.
That's probably why so many people end up in situations that we never could imagine. Let me ask you something. This is Love Mama. If you have a loved one who is suffering from a mental illness or disorder, is it possible to help them through it? You know, like what you talked about earlier, people not wanting to address it or acknowledge that they have it or even want to believe that they are suffering from it. So your auntie or whatever, that's just how he is. That's just how she is or whatever. How can you help your loved one through it and get them to really see this is a problem that you realize they have?
So the first thing that has to happen is you have to change your mindset. You have to change how you look at this vulnerable population of individuals. And then you have to realize that you need a holistic approach. And that is, it's not just the person who is experiencing the illness, but also the people around them. Because in reality, they're also experiencing it with this person. So when you look at programs and things that are available, it's always been my recommendation that you find one that is welcoming to family members and friends and things like that, so that the entire support group can get assistance.
Yes.
Wow. LaShone, you are so awesome. I just want to say that. Thank you, because you have that insight on what you're talking about. You're not someone who's just trying to take an educated guess because you went to school for this. You actually lived it. And when we come back, we want to talk about that. We're going to take a break. So we're going to put you on hold, and thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes.
There's a lot of celebrities that suffer from it, too.
I changed it because of...
If you're looking for a church where you can experience a high time of prayer, praise and worship, anointed preaching, teaching, and prophetic ministry, then we invite you to visit Kingdom Harvest Outreach Ministries, Sunday at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m., and Thursday at 7 p.m. We are located at 134 East Atlanta Road, Stockbridge, Georgia, 30281. For more information about our prophetic worship service, our school, our community giveaways, or any one of our ministries, please visit www.thekingdomharvest.com.
Children are not the only ones using their imaginations to creatively express what they see. As adults, we have the ability to turn our imaginations into reality. At Kingdom Designing Production, LLC, we are able to help give your imagination and vision a voice for the world to see and experience. We can take your vision and turn it into a creative, graphic masterpiece. Visit our website at www.kingdomdesigningproduction.com to schedule your free consultation. Isn't it time for your imagination to make a bold statement to the world?
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree. And we'd like to help. We're Edward Jones. Together, we'll give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Derek Newton's office at Maple Street in Carrollton, Georgia. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
This is a song for every girl who's ever been through something she thought she couldn't make it through. Yeah, I sing these words because...
All right, welcome back to Transitions Talk Radio Show. If you've been tuning in, you know that we're talking about this serious matter that's going on with mental illness, mental disorders, and we have a phenomenal, beautiful guest on the line by the name of LaShone Garth, also known as Miss Elegance International. She is also a veteran as well as a retired major. And welcome back, LaShone. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I'm having a great time.
Good. We're so glad to have you on, and you're really sharing a lot of great insight. Now, in your bio, I noticed that it said you went to college and you received your BA in psychology from Georgia State, and then MA, your master's in forensic psychology from Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and you're currently a candidate for your doctorate in coaching psychology. So with you coming from the military, what made you want to pursue your college degrees or even a career with this type of background?
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is... Let me see if I can, make this succinct but answer the question.
That's fine. Take your time.
Ever since I was a child, I wanted to be a doctor. I really wanted to be a medical doctor, but I can't stand the sight of blood. So I had to X that out of the scenario. But I've always been fascinated with human behavior, particularly my own. And so, that got me into down the road on psychology. And then I've always wanted to just go all the way. I'm one of those people who, once I start something, I got to finish. So the doctoral level was the last chain of events. So that's where I'm finding myself right now. As far as, how my passion for this is, I'm a veteran that suffers from mental illness. And I'm also a 2-time suicide survivor.
Wow.
So those two things combined, and God's words to me, helped me to create my vision. And that's, where kind of Blanket of Freedom came from.
All right.
I mean, speaking of Blanket of Freedom, first of all, I acknowledge the fact that, you don't look like what you've been through, and you've been through a lot. You've continued to climb and battle and go higher. So I want to acknowledge that and for your willingness to share. So tell us more about how you started Blanket of Freedom and really what it does to address people that were once in your shoes and currently are in your shoes that you used to be in.
Absolutely. So after I got back from Iraq, there were a couple of things going on with me mentally, and I did seek treatment, and it really wasn't effective. It was the general, traditional, I'm sitting in front of a psychologist or a psychiatrist or whoever, and they're taking notes, and how do you feel about this, and tell me about that. That just wasn't working for me. And so I found myself kind of spiraling out of control to the point where I wanted to take my own life, and I did attempt to do so twice. The last time I tried to hang myself in my closet, and that ended in catastrophe, and I ended up sitting on the floor and kind of crying out to God and saying, obviously I'm here for a reason. Tell me what you want me to do. And that's where the vision came. He said, go back to what you love, first of all, because you got to get out of this funk. And I've always loved the arts. I started acting at a very young age. And I said, you know what, let me just kind of get back into some art. So I started writing again. I started acting. I got into pageantry. And what I found was this process was so cathartic for me. I was like, wow, light bulb. If this is helping me, then I know that this can touch and reach other people who are feeling exactly like me. And so I started Blanket of Freedom. It's a program that uses drama and expressive therapy to help veterans like myself work through and live and cope every day with mental illness.
Wow. That's amazing. That's an awesome way to actually take your pain and put it to a serious purpose to help other people.
So that's definitely touching right there. What a testimony. Tell us more about Miss Elegance International and this one-woman show you have coming up.
Okay, so Miss Elegance International is a title that I hold right now. I was a pageant title holder, so I was Miss Georgia 2015 American Elegance. Then I went on to win the national title of Miss American Elegance 2016. Wow. And after that, they kind of give you an honorary title to the queens that work the hardest throughout the year and promote the pageant and their platform. So they honored me with the title that I currently hold, which is Miss Elegance International. Wow. So as that, I've been able to use the pageantry platform in order to promote, my personal platform, which is veterans with mental illness. Well, everybody always asks me about my story. And honestly, I've never told it in a way that I'm going to do this Saturday. And it's going to be a one-woman show. It's a series of monologues. I'll be accompanied by an orchestra. And the voice of God will also be in the mix. Wow. And it's really just going to tell everybody where this all came from, how it all started, from the beginning, the middle, to the transition and revelation of Blanket of Freedom.
That's amazing. So,
wow. That is amazing.
I'm really excited about it and nervous all at the same time because, we talked about the stigma and telling my story and letting people see my vulnerability. It's kind of scary, but I know that it will help people. And that's my main focus. That's all I care about. I don't want anybody in their closet wrapping something around their neck saying, this is it for me. I want them to know that there is another way. There is another option.
Yes, and LaShone, I mean, what you said is so powerful because I've been there to that point of multiple suicide attempts, and it goes back to what you said, God wouldn't allow me to die. And I'm definitely grateful and finding a way to turn the pain into a purpose. And when you're talking about getting on the stage and showcasing your story, that is so powerful. How did you prepare for something that you know caused you pain and you had to relive those moments?
Oh, I'm still preparing. I'm still trying to get my mind right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Because, I had to write it as well. I had to write it out and see, myself on that paper and confront myself.
Yeah.
And say, wow, girl, wow. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Finish.
Oh, so yeah, I had to confront that girl who had been through all those things. Mm-hmm. But what the good part was is I saw who she became, and because of that, what she's been able to do and what she will continue to do with God's strength and help. So that's kind of helping me, saying, yeah, you were in a bad place, but look at you now and look at the opportunity of the people you're going to be able to touch with this story.
Right.
And that's what pushes me forward.
I'm sure some of that pain is probably real, too. When you're doing the one-woman show, some of the scenes are probably going to be real emotions, I'm sure.
I can't wait to be there.
And you know what I'm going to do? I wrote it, but I'm really, a part of acting is being authentic in your acting.
Mm-hmm.
And, allowing those emotions that you tap into to come forth, and that's how people really connect with you. So I'm going to allow that to happen. And, a lot of what we do in our workshops here at Blanket of Freedom is tap into those feelings to help you portray a role, even if that role is someone else. You can tap into those feelings and kind of step outside of yourself and see yourself, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I have to say, I looked at your video. This is Diva's Boss Lady. I looked at your video because, of course, I didn't really know you, and I like to get to know my guest that's coming on the show a little bit more, so I'll be able to know enough about you to be able to have a good show with you. And I watched your video, and it brought me to tears. I watched a few of them, but I really watched the one where you began to talk about that moment of unveil, where you were sitting in your car and you were sharing your story and this is tough, having your own business. This is my dream, but this is tough. And I have to keep going, and I have to keep going because of people out there. I can't give up. And let me tell you, it's so many people out there that what you said is exactly how they feel. So if you'll use a minute to just share some encouraging words with our audience before we go to a break.
Absolutely. If anybody is on my Facebook page and you saw that video, you know that I was in a very dark place. Mm-hmm. And I wake up every morning still, having to say, come on, push yourself, get out of bed. But I want people to know that even with that pain, even with that hurt, even with everything that you're going through and all the obstacles that you might be facing and the walls that are in front of you, there is a way out,
yes.
a way over.
Amen. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody's hand and let them pull you up.
Come on now. You're a bad woman.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that right now. So we wanted to keep you on the air so that you can give away the ticket to if we get a caller to come in. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, hopefully we'll be ready to get someone who will call in and be able to win this ticket. And I look forward to meeting you and shaking your hand or even getting a hug from you on Saturday when I attend your one-woman show. I have to come to
absolutely.
that.
I'm going to be there, too.
I know what that's like, and I commend you for all your hard work that you're putting forth just to make a difference in this world. You could have gave up, but you didn't. That's the beautiful piece about it. You're still going hard. Doesn't mean it's not easy, Doesn't mean that it is easy. It means that you have been created for this purpose, and you're going to get the job done. And God is going to send you the help because He gave you the vision.
Man, you said a mouthful there. You know, my tag is grow, love, overcome, and it means glow. You know, glow and shine on, you know, in everything that you do because God is there.
Yes, He is. All right. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to have more of LaShone, this beautiful Miss Elegant International. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Your hope is lost, you're all alone, you're on your knees, your joy is gone, thinking, how did I get here? Oh, how did I get here?
This is the year to find yourself and focus on you. Your life does matter. Your past does not define you or dictate who you are or will be. We can show you how to be happy, find peace, and prosper in 2017. Take the 90-day challenge. Visit our website now to purchase your journal and start your journey to meeting the new you. TransitionYouIn90days.com.
Maybe I'm young, but I've been broken. I learned to do things on my own. Had a few battles that I've lost, oh. Picked myself up off the ground. I've been on the road now quite some time now. I have found a friend in you, oh Lord, help me get on through. Help me get on through. Help me get on through. I don't always know which direction to go, but I'm sure that you do. Even when I choose my own way, I'm lost, oh, I can find myself in you. I've been on the road now quite some time now. I have found a friend in you, oh Lord, help me get on through.
All right, out there, welcome back to Transitions Talk Radio Show. We are closing in on the last 10 minutes of this show. We still have our phenomenal guest on the line now, Miss LaShone Garth, Miss Elegance International, founder of Blanket of Freedom. Now, if you'll let people know how they can purchase those tickets to attend your event and even give donations or even blankets.
Absolutely. So, tickets for the event are on Eventbrite. All you have to do is search Heart of Valor, and it should come up, and you should find me. And you get a discount if you bring a new blanket, not the one you just took off your bed, please.
Please don't.
We do need them to be new. They could be twin size, etc., but they do need to be brand new. And you can go on Eventbrite and choose your ticket, and you can get the discount if you indicate that you're going to bring a blanket. If for whatever reason you can't attend the show, I hate that, and I'm sorry, but you can still make a donation to Blanket of Freedom by going to our website at www.blanketoffreedom.org. You can also go to our Facebook page at Blanket of Freedom and make a donation there as well. And I'm all over Facebook, so you just put my name in.
I had to come onto her second page. All right. All right. We're getting ready to actually give away this ticket. Are you ready? You know what that means. There go that song. Waiting on that caller. You're going to win this ticket. First caller.
Call in.
Call in. 404-355-8699.
Honey, I'm really worried about our retirement
All
funds.
right.
Oh, me too.
So,
we lost so much.
Let's see. We got a caller on the line. Let's see what's going on. Got our control room working things. Go ahead back there, man. All right. We got a caller on the line. He said yes, so we're just waiting to get him on. Caller, you're on the line. Transitions Talk Radio. What's going on?
Hey there, how y'all doing this evening? This is Lanita Blackwell.
All right, what's up, Lanita? All right. So glad to have you calling in. So you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, we think so. Let's see what our control room says. He said, I'm getting to it.
Hey, Lanita.
It was good to see you last night.
You too, birthday girl. You turned it up.
And you look like a runway model.
Yes, I did.
Lanita, that means that you are a winner. LaShone, tell her what she's going to win.
For calling in and for listening. And you have won a ticket to see my one-woman show this Saturday, February 4th, 7 p.m. At 4209 Northeast Expressway, Atlanta, Georgia, at Blanket of Freedom. It's called Heart of Valor, Victim to Victory. And you can hear all about my story, about dealing with depression, my suicide, and then the vision. So thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting you.
Oh, thank you so much. I am honored.
Yay.
All right. Congratulations. We got a winner, well-deserved winner, must I say. All right, Lanita, we're going to put you back to the control room so he can get your information, and that way we can get it over to LaShone. All right. So we have a winner. And LaShone, thank you so much for even wanting to give away a ticket to someone to be blessed by your show, because I believe that is what's going to take place.
Absolutely. I wish I could give them all away, but of course we have to raise money in order to keep doing what we do. But I can't wait to meet and see everybody. I'm really excited.
I know. We feel the same way. So thank you so much for being a great radio guest on our show today. Everything that you have given us with your words has inspired us.
Yes.
And helped us.
It really
and the
has.
audience. Whew, we're going to have you back on because we know this goes so much deeper. Yeah. And we're going to schedule another time a little bit later down the road where you can actually be able to come back on, okay?
Major Garth,
Yeah,
we salute
absolutely.
you.
I would love to.
All right. Well, we definitely look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and I can't wait because you're gonna have some tissue at the door where we can pick up tissue.
Oh, it's gonna be a bunch of tissue.
Yeah.
Need some tissue. All right.
I need some tissue.
All right. So
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Thank you for your time. We'll see you soon. All right. My gosh,
That
what a
was
great
deep.
show. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Those answers to those questions are important. I compiled some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to post them. It's a lot of people who don't realize they're suffering or family members are suffering
Yes.
from a mental illness.
have you ever had to deal with someone dealing with
Yes, and our way, the city of Gold Villa Rica, we have Willowbrook, a lot of new initiatives that deal with mental health. Even our judge out there, our probate judge, Betty Kaysen, does a lot of work to help mental health advance the cause of mental health. It's a big initiative out our way out west. So
I agree. I actually had to deal with something like that. And
I'm so happy you made it through. I'm so happy.
I know what people are going through. Those people who have to deal with family members or those that they love, who are actually going through this whole tough situation where they've been diagnosed. It's one thing to be diagnosed and have your medicine and take your meds. But it's another thing to be in denial
That's the
and
problem.
not take your meds. Let me go ahead.
And one more thing, like at our ministry, Last Shall Be First Ministries, across the hall, we actually have a psychiatrist who deals with children and mental health and art therapy and all these things. And it's an interesting dynamic when you're in the hallway and the kids that she serves, you don't know necessarily how to respond to them because you don't know what stage
What's
they're in,
gonna
what
trigger
day
them.
they're in, what
Yeah.
triggers they have.
Yes,
And so as a church family, it's hard to show love because you don't know if that just a simple, hey, how you doing could cause a trigger. So
Yes,
it's
for
a
sure.
challenge.
All right, Love Mama. You got like 30 seconds.
I'm
You
gonna say-
encourage the people out
I'm
there.
going to say this. The mental illness part is so serious. You need to make sure if you see any symptoms, any family members with signs, try to figure out, just like our guest said, figure out a way to investigate it, get the right approach to make sure that you are helping your loved one. If you're in a relationship with somebody who may be having these signs and symptoms of a mental illness, you need to do the research and find out how you can come together and talk to them, because it's going to sabotage and destroy the relationship. And I'm all about settle free, but sometimes, you got to help somebody when you got to.
You have
can.
to. All right, Pastor D, what you got to say to the people out there?
Sometimes people take sports too seriously. Like the Hawks, who won 142, 139 in 4 overtimes today against the Knicks.
Yay.
And so that's an aspect of mental health that people don't take, because sometimes the art is too serious. And, God has called us to learn to relax and enjoy ourselves. So you need to get some help if you smashing TVs and all that other stuff. That's a sign. You need to get some help, too.
Somebody asks you what time it is, you go off on them. It's a problem.
Hey, amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. And I want to share with the audience as we get ready to go. Thank you so much for being a part of Transitions Talk Radio Show. Follow us on Instagram and on our Facebook page. But what I would like to say is, don't be in denial. The only way to actually fix a problem is to admit you have a problem. If you don't want to call it a problem, call it an issue. Stand in front of the mirror, check your own self out. Stop pointing the finger at everybody else, and it's time to put yourself on the couch and give yourself a diagnosis of this year. If you want this year to be better than last year, it's time for you to really evaluate yourself, checking your own self to understand, I got to have my life together.
Yes.
I no longer need to be an issue or a cause for someone else to have a problem with their life. This is what I need to do to power up my life.
You better say
so
it.
that I can move forward and be the great man or the great woman that God has called me to be. You cannot be those things if you're walking around with denial that you have issues. We all have flaws. We all have something that we have to go through. But we must get ourselves in check first and stop pointing the finger or the blame game on everyone else.
You wreck yourself.
Hello, wreck yourself. We love you. We're getting ready to go next Sunday. Don't forget, February is all about love. So we have a great guest coming next Sunday, 6 to 7, Joseph Dixon from Black Love App. Yes, we're going to try to get some love connections going up in here. And if you understand, even if you don't get that ring or that call or that whatever it is you want, or that boo for Valentine, can you make it?
Or that babe.
All right, so we out.